And now graphic card. For example, imagine you have a helper Arif who cleans tables time to time inside cafe to make it visually more appealing. In the same way, when it comes to a laptop, if you want, okay, we have this concept called graphic card. What it does is, it is basically responsible to play videos or pictures and so on. So by default, in any given laptop, we have integrated graphics, and this is more than enough for daily tasks like playing YouTube video or reading YouTube, basic Excel sheet, and so on, Google Sheet, Google Docs, and so on. But if you want the graphics to be more appealing, the visuals to be more appealing, then you need more graphic memory. Okay, so the more memory you have, the more visually appealing graphics can be created. And what does it mean to have appealing graphics? So for this you need two things. The first one is better frame rate, and the second one is better refresh rate. Okay. So what does it mean better frame rate? Have you ever seen this Tari Zameen Par movie? The kid scrolls through a book where it plays some sort of story, and that is nothing but frame rate. So it is simply number of images played per second, okay, which is like a flip book, and that's nothing but a video. Video is what in your laptop or a computer desktop, when you play a movie, if it is passing 60 images per second, okay, then it becomes a video. And here you can say frame rate is 60 frames per second. This is 60 fps. Okay. And refresh rate is simply your monitor. Okay, how many times does your monitor refreshes your screen? Okay, for example, here I have written, explained with an example. You can see, imagine this is your desktop, and this is a full HD desktop, which means 1980 pixels. You have width and height, or what do you say, breadth. You have 1080 pixels. Okay, and imagine you have 120 fps frame rate, means 120 pics will be moved in a second, and your monitor refresh rate is 60 Hz. Now what happens? So the question now is, what happens? So the answer is here, if you see, in 1 second your monitor refreshes your screen up to 60 times. 60 times. But you have 120 frames. You have 120 frames. So you have 120 images, and your screen changes. I mean, screen in the sense, yeah, your screen changes 60 times, only 60 times. So then what happens? The first second, okay, second one, it will show frame 1. Second 2, I mean, instead of second 1, second 2, I mean, the time slot 1, you can say time slot 1, it will show frame 1. Time slot 2, instead of frame 2, it will show frame 3. And that way, in 1 second, your screen is refreshing 60 times, but as it is just 60 times and you have 120 frames, it will only show 60 frames. Okay, so for example, there is a fight scene, hero and villain are fighting, and you have 120 frames. So like lifting hand, or kicking with leg. Okay, and this scene has 120 frames per second, but as your screen is refreshing 60 times per second, it will skip frames. Maybe frame 2 will be skipped, frame 4, frame 6, and so on. So even though you have 120 frames, it will show only 120 60 frames, and that's how you lose the screen. Like you feel like when you watch a movie with 60 hertz frame rate, you can see the difference, especially if you are into gaming. You would definitely know what I'm talking about. Or else your screen gets freezes. Okay, you feel like screen is getting frozen if the refresh rate is really low. For example, if the refresh rate is 10 hertz, it means in 1 second it will refresh only 10 times. Then what happens? Your screen will get stuck. You can literally feel the sense of getting stuck.